At night, Claire is closing her curtains when she accidentally notices a new boy moving into the house across the street. For a second, it feels like he can sense someone watching him. He turns around, and Claire quickly hides behind the curtain, a little shaken. And this is where everything begins. This is the boy next door. Claire is a high school teacher. She is kind, smart, and honestly very beautiful. But her marriage is a mess. Her husband constantly cheats on her with his secretary, and it has been hurting her for a long time. She has thought about divorce, but because of her son, she chooses to stay and deal with it. One day, she is about to take her son to the doctor when the garage door suddenly stops working. She struggles to lift it, but nothing works. Then out of nowhere, someone helps her. When she turns around, she realizes it is the same boy she saw the night before. His name is Noah. He is staying with their neighbor, Mr. Sanborn. Apparently, Noah is helping him with a bone marrow transplant, and after losing his parents in a car accident, he is the only one left in his family. Later, Noah offers to help fix the garage and says he needs some tools, so he takes Claire's son, Kevin, to buy them. On the way, Noah casually mentions that he is 20 years old but still in high school, which already feels a bit unusual. At the store, Kevin runs into Allie, a girl he likes. At first, she barely pays attention to him, but once she notices Noah, her attitude changes instantly. Not long after, some of Kevin's classmates show up and start picking on him, while Noah just watches from a distance without stepping in. Back at home, Claire finds herself more and more curious about Noah. He manages to fix the garage easily, and they end up talking for a while. He comes across as polite, calm, and surprisingly charming. The next day, he even helps Kevin repair their car. From her bedroom window, Claire keeps watching them. At first, she does not think much of it, but slowly she starts to feel something she did not expect. Noah notices her watching at one point, and she quickly hides again, trying to act like nothing happened. During lunch together, Noah shows a different side of himself. He talks about romance and literature in a way that feels way more mature than someone his age. For Claire, who teaches literature, this instantly pulls her in. It has been a long time since she has had a conversation that actually makes her feel seen. That weekend, Kevin and his father, Garrett, go on a camping trip in the mountains. Claire decides to stay home, still trying to keep her distance from her husband. Seeing that she is alone, Noah comes over and gives her an old literature book as a gift. Claire is genuinely surprised and maybe a little touched. The next night, Claire is home alone when she suddenly gets a call from Noah. He asks something simple about reheating food, but then he keeps insisting that she come over to help him. Feeling a bit bad for him, Claire ends up going to his house, even in the middle of heavy rain. They share dinner together, and the atmosphere slowly shifts. Noah starts opening up and makes it clear that he is very interested in Claire. He even points out that he noticed her watching him before, and he is convinced that she feels the same way. Claire tries to brush it off and avoid the situation, but Noah keeps getting closer. Claire has been emotionally distant from her husband for months, and in that moment, her guard finally drops. Without really thinking it through, she makes a decision that she will regret almost immediately. The next morning, reality hits hard. Claire wakes up in panic, realizing how serious her mistake was. She knows she crossed a line she never should have crossed. Later that day, Kevin and Garrett return from their camping trip. At first, Claire does not even want to let her husband inside, but Kevin keeps asking and she eventually gives in. While they sit and talk about their trip, Claire is physically there, but her mind is somewhere else completely. While she is doing dishes, Noah suddenly shows up again, acting way too comfortable. He teases her like nothing happened, and before leaving, he even gets a bit too close, making Claire even more nervous. That night, while taking out the trash, Garrett tries to reconnect with Claire and fix their relationship. What they do not realize is that Noah is watching everything from his window, quietly observing and starting to form his own plans. Then school starts, and things take an even worse turn. Claire is shocked when she sees Noah show up as her student. From that moment on, he does not leave her alone. After school, he keeps following her around, making her feel constantly uneasy. At the same time, Kevin starts getting closer to Noah, which only makes Claire more worried. It quickly becomes clear that Noah is not a good influence. He even introduces Kevin to dangerous things like shooting in the forest. Not long after, Kevin's behavior starts changing. He becomes more disrespectful toward his father, and it leads to a tense argument at dinner. At school, Claire receives a bouquet of flowers. At first, she assumes it is from her husband, but after checking, she realizes it is not. Deep down, she already knows who sent it. She immediately goes to confront Noah, who is casually practicing boxing. Claire tries to put an end to everything and tells him to stay away from her. The situation gets intense enough that another teacher notices them, but Noah does not seem to care at all. His focus is only on Claire. Later that night, Garrett drives Claire home, and it is clear that they still have feelings for each other. For a moment, they almost fall back into their old connection, but Claire stops it before it goes too far. Even so, she allows Garrett to stay the night. Unseen by them, Noah is watching again. Seeing Claire and Garrett together triggers something inside him. The anger builds up, and it becomes obvious that he is not going to let Garrett win her back. The next day, after Garrett leaves for work, Noah shows up at Claire's place with a completely different energy. He looks angry and tells her that she has betrayed him. In his mind, this is not over at all. In fact, he makes it clear that things are just getting started. Claire still does not realize how far Noah is willing to go. Before she knows it, Kevin starts acting differently. He begins siding with Noah and even chooses to go to school with him instead of his own mother. At school, Kevin gets bullied again, but this time, Noah steps in and beats up the other students. Because of that, he gets sent to Vicky's office. Vicky quickly finds out that Noah was expelled from his previous school for his bad behavior, and even now, he shows zero respect. Later, Kevin gets ready for the school prom and is actually excited because Allie agrees to go with him. But that moment does not last long. Claire is told about a problem in the boys' bathroom, and when she checks it out, she is completely shocked. Written on the wall is a humiliating message exposing her. Noah shows up again and starts threatening her. Claire is already stressed and scared, especially since she has been trying to fix things with her husband. Feeling trapped, she fights back and manages to get away. At this point, she finally understands that Noah is not going to stop. The next day gets even worse. Claire's students cannot enter her classroom because it is locked. When she opens it, she finds something horrifying. Photos of her private moment with Noah are printed and spread all over the room. Panicking, she quickly removes everything before anyone else can see. The principal shows up to check what is going on, but luckily Claire manages to clean it up in time. Still, her reputation is already starting to fall apart. Other teachers have reported seeing her alone with Noah, and that raises serious suspicion. After school, Garrett picks up Kevin and lets him drive. But suddenly the car brakes fail and they crash. Thankfully, they both survive, but it is clear something is very wrong. When Claire gets home, things take an even darker turn. Noah is already there, sitting casually with her husband and son like he belongs. At this point, he is no longer hiding anything. He is openly inserting himself into her life. That night, Claire finally reaches her limit. She goes straight to Noah's room and begs him to stop everything. But Noah refuses. He makes it clear that he will not stop until he gets what he wants. Then he reveals something even worse. He still has a video of their night together, and he is ready to use it against her at any moment. That is his leverage, and he knows it. Terrified, Claire finally opens up to Vicky about everything. She realizes that if that video ever gets out, she could lose her job, her family, and everything she has built. So, with no other choice, Claire and Vicky decide they have to find that video. After school, Claire puts her plan into action. As expected, Noah follows her car, thinking she is heading home like usual. But this time, something feels off. The car suddenly speeds up, and when Noah tries to chase it, he realizes the driver is not Claire. It is Vicky. That distraction is exactly what Claire needed. While Noah is busy chasing the wrong car, Claire sneaks into his house, determined to find the video. Vicky calls her and warns her to hurry in case Noah figures out what is going on. Claire searches the house carefully until she finds a hidden camera behind a clock. That leads her to something much worse. Following the wires, she discovers a secret room in the basement, and what she sees there is terrifying. The walls are covered with photos of her, taken without her knowing. It becomes clear that Noah has been stalking her for a long time. She finds his laptop where all the photos and videos are stored and quickly deletes everything. At that moment, Claire also realizes something chilling. Noah was the one who sabotaged her car, which caused the accident involving Garrett and Kevin. After finishing, Claire rushes back home, thinking it is finally over. But things take a dark turn almost immediately. Noah breaks into Vicky's house and attacks her, leaving her unconscious. He ties her up and holds her captive. When Claire arrives at Vicky's house, everything is quiet and dark. As she looks around, she suddenly finds Vicky, and it is already too late. The shock completely breaks her. Panicking, Claire runs outside and tries to call the police, but before she can do anything, Noah appears out of nowhere and drags her out of the car. He then reveals something even more disturbing. He admits that he killed his own father and his father's mistress by staging a car accident. And now he has taken Garrett and Kevin and locked them in a barn. His plan is simple and terrifying. He wants to get rid of them so he can be with Claire. Claire rushes to the barn and finds both Garrett and Kevin hanging and helpless. Noah is ready to kill them, but Claire stays calm and plays along, pretending to go along with him. In the middle of it, she secretly grabs a tool and hits Noah, knocking him down for a moment. She quickly tries to free Kevin, but Noah gets back up and attacks her again. Claire is dragged across the barn while Noah keeps pushing his twisted idea of being together. Then he pours gasoline on Garrett and Kevin, preparing to burn them alive. Claire tries to stop him, but he is too strong. In the chaos, she pushes him, and the lighter drops, starting a fire. Everything turns into a fight for survival. Garrett manages to free his hands, but Noah shoots him, leaving him seriously injured. Claire is cornered, but then she remembers something. She still has Kevin's EpiPen. In a desperate move, she uses it and stabs Noah in the eye. Even then, he keeps fighting, but Claire does not stop. She uses every bit of strength she has left. Kevin manages to break free too, but Noah attacks him again. With no other option, Claire pulls a lever, dropping a heavy piece of metal that finally crushes Noah and ends it. At last, the nightmare is over. Police and ambulances arrive at the scene. Garrett is rushed for treatment and survives. After everything that happened, Claire is finally able to rebuild her life and start healing with her family. So the moral of the story is, if a too perfect guy offers to fix your garage, cook dinner, and read poetry, just call a mechanic and lock your door before your life turns into a full horror series.